as much as you would say that, she might have freckles, I could also say that, Andrea can't bend her big toe. Eric just slapped the crap out of me.
Well, listen, you keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Don't call me paranoid. I keep the demons from your soul.
Did anybody watch the last episode? Like watch it, not just listen, but watch it.
Yes.
I haven't.
So you missed the best part, Curtis. When Jeff was talking about being in high school or grade school or whatever, when he was playing the cello, talking about how badass he felt, and you were sitting here going, shaking your head. So on that scene, when he was talking, I actually cropped it so it was just your face going like this while he was talking. It cracked me up. Yeah, I did not. I watch it when I edit it, but I don't actually watch it again. I play it and listen to it,
Right.
and all the way to the end just to make sure we get the full listen. The full hour or whatever it is credit.
Yeah.
I realized to be a YouTube partner, it's not 1,000 watched hours; it's 6,000 watched hours.
Oh,
so you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 6,000 watched hours of people watching your stuff, which means those 3-second watches, it's going to take a while.
take a
A
little bit.
lot of watches.
Yeah.
I think what they say, Trees is up to 1.4
It's been,
thousand.
yeah, it's been at 1.4 for a while. It's been getting a few here and there, but not as, so on the last podcast, and I'm going to start doing this, what I actually did was I set it so at the end of the video, it popped up with, it selects what video it thinks it should show of yours, and then has a subscribe button and stuff. So I started putting that on there at the end, just in case anybody sticks around, and they can click and it'll take them to the next bootleg thing,
I wonder if you shouldn't do that at the beginning. Maybe we could get a few.
Well, I don't know. I can add a card, which is when it has the little text at the top, but like to actually put the bubble, I can't really do that.
Right.
Now, do we have ads on ours? Like if you don't,
We might, but we don't control that. We don't know. And we don't.
That's
see
what I was
anything
thinking.
from
Is
it.
like okay. Well, there's a video that I watch every once in a while, and the guy says, if the ad break comes up for you guys, and scroll down to the comments and say, whatever, and so I didn't know if that was something
Gotcha.
that we knew when it was coming.
No, we
during the
don't,
video?
and I don't, especially because I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get ads. So, do you?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll bow before the YouTube Premium. I got tired of the ads, man. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
What's it cost you?
I think $11.99 a month,
But that also gets you YouTube Music,
which I don't use.
which is every single thing that you could possibly think of, even like the acoustic stuff and the bootleg
Hey,
stuff.
speaking of, have you seen that? It was all over Facebook today, but it's like, I guess it's the anniversary of The Crow or whatever. And did you see they're like releasing a bunch of like previously unreleased tracks that were supposed to go on the soundtrack but did not?
Oh, I got
Oh wow.
And the one they released today, or they were, at least the thing I saw today, you can YouTube it, but it is Stone Temple Pilots had done a song for the soundtrack that didn't make the soundtrack because they pulled it because of Brandon Lee getting killed or whatever. And the name of the song is something about dying, like I'm dying or me dying, my dying day or something like that. But I did listen to it. It was way different. I caught myself questioning, it's like, did they really pull it because of him dying, or did they just pull it because it wasn't very good? I mean, it was way different. You have to check it out. You being a big STP guy, you need to check it out.
Yeah, that's interesting. That was off from the first movie, the soundtrack for the first movie. I know they had talked about making a second one that didn't happen, but you're not talking about that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one where Brandon Lee was killed at the end of it,
Right?
filming.
Yeah.
So this is all about the soundtrack. I guess it's the anniversary or something of that.
I got you.
So
Gotcha.
there was just a bunch of stuff there's been a bunch of stuff on social media about that soundtrack, and 10 facts about Brandon Lee you didn't know and all that kind of stuff, but
Gotcha. I don't know any of those 10 facts. I guarantee it. Other than his name is Brandon Lee.
yeah.
Brandon Lee.
Bruce Lee's kid.
So since we actually have had a little bit of good banter already, that's going to make the podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and say hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8. But you've already been listening for 5 minutes because that was a good natural start. I mean, and that's a little inside baseball for you listeners. That's how these podcasts always start, and then we waste a lot of good material before we finally say hi, welcome to the podcast. But just so you know, we keep the routine going. I got Rich Thompson.
Dude.
Wow.
Have you two met? Have you two, Rich, Eric, Rich?
Try that again. I've got Rich Thompson here, lead singer of Bootleg Mercy. Over in that little bubble, which you guys don't really see it that way, we got Jeff Butler, bass player extraordinaire. Then we've got bus driver Curtis Nightingale.
Hi, Curtis.
Hi.
Hey, speaking of which, make sure you're getting Rich's underwear picked up on the bus because he leaves it laying around. It stinks and looks gross.
Well, I mean,
there's more than one way to earn the #1 front man in the universe title.
Oh, it's the universe now?
Yeah, but why not?
we got in the universe now.
We've gone beyond
What-
Kansas.
What's next? I mean, what can I do that? I mean,
Multiverse.
so
It's all
basically
downhill
now,
from here.
yeah, now it's all downhill. Yeah.
All downhill.
Next time you see me, I'll be like #2 in Kansas or something.
Until he put on that hat, and then he's dropped down a little bit.
Rock chop.
Yeah, that's something. How do you think that's going to go?
Well, as a Kansas fan and the Kansas fan base, probably going to lose. I mean,
To who? Villanova?
Oh yeah. I mean,
They lost their star player.
they're gonna catch fire from 3. It always happens.
You said that about the Providence, and
Yes, he did. He did. He did.
which it made him look really stupid because that podcast came out after the games were played,
Mhm.
so it made him look like a dum dum. But this one, I'll make sure it comes out hopefully tomorrow,
Okay.
and
Well,
then that way.
you know, there's a little bit of optimism, obviously, because
Mhm.
we're in the Final Four, but still a little bit leery.
Well, you won on my daughter's birthday.
I'm surprised you didn't throw down the cash to go to that Final Four game, Rich. I mean, what are they saying? The cheap seats are like $1,700 or something.
Yeah, which is just dropping the bucket for me. But
Yeah.
Sure.
you know, I had other things going on. You know, had to help the band with some stuff. You know.
Yeah, you saw those quarterly royalties we had last week, so
Yeah. Well, you reserve that seat in front so you can put your feet on it and all that too. Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about that, Eric, is that it's good for the tolls. You know, so I would have gotten 1 free toll out of the deal.
yeah.
That's totally worth it to me.
Actually, you haven't been through the tolls lately. It's gone up. You're not.
On a, it's like
You
a
can't
dollar
go down the
75.
block for $1.23.
That's like a
Remember the
dollar
90s call, they
75
want
now.
the-
I mean,
Yeah.
The whole price is back.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody doing good? Having a good week?
busy,
Jeff,
busy
what-
week.
Yeah. Well, you know, busy goes by fast, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeff, have you said anything yet? Well, all right. So
Well, I mentioned something about Rich's hat.
that's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
right.
Point.
Remember?
He's got the mute pedal on.
Yeah, point taken.
So yeah,
How easy you forget.
we're gonna play a new game out there. Every time you hear Jeff talk, you have to hit the like button and subscribe and comment. We did have 4 comments on the last video. I was one of them.
Uh-huh.
My dad was another,
Oh.
making fun of us.
I was
Uh-huh.
gonna say your parents commenting really blows our credibility. It's hard
Hey,
to be
man.
a hardcore rock band when mom and dad are chiming in. Good job, son.
Hey, listen, supportive parents, man. That's, you know, hey, Dime and Vinny, that's how they got to all their gigs. Their dad drove them, you know, and so they just didn't have internet back then.
Yeah, great.
There wasn't
Moment of
internet
silence.
in
Good
the-
info.
in the
Yeah.
80s.
Is it bad that I love my parents? I mean, is that supposed to be?
I love your parents too, especially your mom. Anyway, we're moving on from that. But yeah, we had a nice comment from who was it that we got that comment? Eileen said that she enjoyed hearing like the backstage stories and stuff, and you know, that's cool because now, I mean, that's the kind of feedback that we need to know what you guys want to hear us talk about. Now we can't tell you all the backstage stories because it's basically Motley Crue out here.
Yeah.
We're pretty wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
We get crazy.
it's you wouldn't even believe this one time.
Eric, don't.
No,
don't
I
tell-
got it.
no,
I
no,
got
hey,
to.
hey, hey,
I
hey.
got to. We
Wait,
went to the
what?
food truck before the gig, before we played, and I got macaroni and cheese on my brisket sandwich.
It's like,
That's
is-
living on the edge.
Yeah.
we party like it's 1899 when we go to
Yeah.
a show.
That's
We go raise a
We'll have the
barn.
Cox Cutter shows. Thanks.
yeah.
Did
No,
they have brisket and macaroni and cheese back in 1899?
No,
Hey,
but
speaking of 1899, what was higy school like back then, Curtis?
Ah!
I was a junior, and
Already had 4 children.
that I knew of, but
All right. Well, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to talk about the same thing everybody else in the world is talking about, but we're gonna go about it a little different. Everybody wants to talk about who was right, who was wrong. But I got a question for you guys. We'll go through each of us. What's it going to take to get you to walk up and slap one of the most famous comedians of all time on live television on a large stage? What's going to put you to that point?
Living Will Smith's life, maybe.
So having a wife
who out has other husbands,
spreads the
apparently.
love around to
Yeah,
everyone but
and
you.
then, yeah, it's pretty rough. And then a lot of other things going on in that guy's life too.
Yeah, you could tell. There's a lot going on. For him to sit there and scream like he did and everything, there was a lot of hurt behind them eyes.
Yeah.
Curtis, you're the most aggressive out of all of us. What was this going to take, like a sideways glance? What?
did you breathe? Did you breathe?
Get that
No,
breath
man,
out of your mouth.
you know, I'm one of those people that if it hadn't have been for that story being all over the place, I wouldn't even have known the Academy Awards was on.
That's right. Same
don't
here.
follow that. It sounds and seems so out of character for what we know of Will Smith and stuff. I struggle because I am not a conspiracy theorist. You guys know that about me, but yeah, I struggle based on the ratings, what the ratings have been for the Academy Awards, and there was discussion about whether or not they were even going to televise it. And there's just so many other factors involved in that. And if you look at I saw someone who kind of broke it down in terms of when Will Smith approaches him to smack him, it's like he was like bracing himself. He like
Leaning
leaned
in.
into it. He has jaw clenched, just like he knew it was coming almost. And so it makes me think the whole thing was just a stage thing anyway. And I don't want to be that freak that's out there, claiming conspiracy, but I'm just telling you, it just didn't look right from what I've seen of it. But the question was, what would it take to make me do that? I don't know. I don't know that I would ever do that. I mean, it's something where, a little bit of self-regulation, I think, being able to control yourself and in that setting, think about that. That's a black tie affair.
Right.
There would have been security everywhere in that place. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I just can't think of a situation that something being said on stage would warrant me jumping up there and doing something stupid like that.
Especially from a comedian, a person who that's his thing, that's his job.
Even the joke, I mean, even the punchline wasn't even that.
It was so mild.
No.
I mean, so I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Schultz is, but he's got podcasts. He's a stand-up comedian, and he's usually pretty brutal. And the first 3 minutes of their podcast Tuesday was just him going hard on Will and Jada. And some of the stuff he said, that would have got his ass beat.
Yeah.
But what Chris Rock said was so mild. It's like, really, that's what you're going to get mad about? That kind of makes me think, along the lines of what you said about maybe it being on purpose, that wasn't something that would, unless Will Smith's just that fragile,
Just to add to the conspiracy, the fact that Chris Rock had just completed, he did a documentary on respecting Black women's hair and all of that. I mean,
it was for his daughters or something.
So explain that. I mean, he would then do that. I mean, so what happens? How many people are checking his documentary out right now?
And buying tickets to his shows. And
absolutely. I mean, there's just so many in terms of, you have to always follow the money on that deal. It's like, so who gained from that? Everyone. No one didn't gain from that.
Right.
Will
No,
Smith
you're
had to save some face after all the crap he went through last year with that whole thing with her reveal about her infidelities and stuff. And
mhm.
Chris Rock, I mean, when was the last time you saw Chris Rock in anything? I mean, his career has kind of fizzled a little bit too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very odd. Very odd.
Yeah, I think you're onto something for sure. Jeff, what about you? You seem pretty violent and bloodthirsty.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that, and
Elbow, like
as
elbow
Curtis was
face.
talking,
Yeah.
I was like, man, what if like this just really rude and obnoxious sound guy said that my stuff was a piece of crap and blaming that on, what was going on and sound checking, and I might consider at that point, with all the back and forth, just jumping out there and slapping the shit out of them. But that's probably, I'm pretty reserved, so I'd probably hold back on that a little bit.
Well, that's good to know. I'm gonna start talking some smack on your wife then. see if I can find the line.
Hey.
So
I don't have to back her. She'll just jump right out and throat punch you. I mean,
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
I don't have to protect her at all.
I've seen her probably be a belly button
She's
punch.
not a wuss like Jada. I mean, she would get up there and slap the crap out of Chris Rock herself.
She might do it herself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like Rich, what about like you? What if I was like to say, well, Steph's got a lot of freckles. Rich just slapped the shit out of me.
That needs to be the opener of the video.
It was a joke. Okay, well, I guess.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Sorry, I will. Sorry, it was a joke. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
You forgot the F word.
Family friendly show.
Man, ouch.
I'm sorry.
That was rough.
F is for family.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It's kind of, as much as you would say that, she might have freckles, I could also say that, Andrea can't bend her big toe. Eric just slapped the crap out of me.
Well, listen, you keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Sorry.
You keep my wife's name out your mouth, please. Guys, listen, that was not rehearsed. That was totally authentic.
Totally authentic.
Live as filmed as it happened.
Don't give away the magic. We've been planning that all day.
Just waiting to see your guys' faces.
Yeah.
I can't wait to look.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that video. It's probably going to be where the internet was messed up and it glitches.
Freezes.
You're going to see me holding my hand to Rich's chin for like 30 seconds. Looks like we're about to embrace each other.
The huge.
Yeah.
See, but the problem is this: my brother's wife's name is Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's wife's name is Andrea. So my brain has to really crank to figure out which one I'm going to say,
Right. And fun fact, I'm an ordained minister, and I married his brother and his.
You married his brother? Let me just stop you right there. You married Rich's brother?
Hey, you need to be.
There's the start.
You need to be more tolerant, you bigot. No, I performed the ceremony for their wedding. And I'm up here trying to remember to say Andrea instead of Andrea or Andrea or Andrea. So I was a little nervous, but I got through it.
It's rough.
It was rough.
Nobody knows what we go through.
Yeah. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
The trouble I've seen.
I don't think the mic can even hear you.
Hey, write those down. There's some good lyrics right there.
Oh,
I like that melody. Put some distortion guitar behind it. It might work. So yeah. I think that's a pretty good take on that situation. We've talked about it all we need to.
that's all I got to say about that.
All right. So
Nice segue. Nice segue. Next topic.
Speaking,
Hey,
speaking,
great segue, Curtis.
hey,
Thanks, man.
speaking of Forrest Gump, we're about to release a song that when you hear it and watch the lyric video, you will think the lyrics were written by a very simple man who knows what love is. So what's up with that, Curtis?
Yeah, well, we've got a
It's
we've
too
got a
It's tonight.
we have got a yeah, we just timed ourselves by explaining that because I thought we were trying to keep these nondescript. But
I mean,
since you went ahead and kicked that rock over, Burning actually releases at midnight.
Last night, right?
Yeah, tonight at midnight. Burning release. However, based on multiple time zones, it's released halfway around the world already. But when it releases simultaneously, the video is being released as well. And that will be our initial foray into creating our own lyric video. So you'll have to grab a look at that and let us know what you think about that video, whether you like it. I'd really be interested, for anybody that's watching at this point, which is probably two of you, I would be really interested to know whether you prefer lyric videos over action videos, because I would say based on our views at this point, definitely the video we did for the Veil is smoking every other video we've released at this point, which tells me I'm hoping the powers that be are really working hard on their script for our next upcoming release, Knife in the Back, which is supposedly, from what I hear on the gossip reels there, it's going to be another action video. So
It absolutely is going to be another action video.
anyway, so the Burning release is at midnight tonight, all streaming and downloading and everything else. I had several stations contact me today. I was super busy at work, but I was trying to find time in between there. I probably emailed Burning out as an MP3 probably 10, 12 times today.
Nice.
all right.
To different internet stations, college stations, et cetera, wanting a copy of it. So we've definitely created a buzz. People are actually paying attention to when we're releasing stuff. I don't know if they're watching our podcast, but they are paying attention to when our music's coming out. And so,
Right.
The cool thing about that is there's someone that's excited about you releasing stuff, which is cool.
Right.
The other piece of that, though, is a little bit of responsibility and pressure in that you want to keep that ball rolling. And so, as musicians, as artists, it becomes kind of pressing where we have to really start thinking intentionally about how many more songs do we have to release? Do we need to get some more songs ready to roll? Getting pre-production done on those and then booking studio time and trying to get in and get that done so that we can continue the momentum we've created.
Right.
I know Rich saw this. I don't know if Eric and Jeff, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they did put out an advanced release for, ERB, that the April edition, which is edition 10, is actually going to have Bootleg Mercy in it. So that magazine is going to be coming out here. And so I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be kind of cool to see us in print, but we'll see how that goes. But their show's going on tonight. They're revealing, I think for them, the Veil, they're releasing Veil over in the UK. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Yeah, I think that's going to be huge for us is to keep that momentum going. You think about bands that you follow, there's a bunch of buzz around releasing their album or whatever. And then after it's done, then they go out and they tour and stuff. Obviously we're not quite there, but you start to thinking, well, I haven't thought about them in a long time. They haven't released nothing. There hasn't been any buzz. So yeah, I think for us, it would definitely be smart to keep in the studio, keep pumping out ideas and releasing songs. And now that we've all been through this process and got a feel for how it is, I definitely understand the sense of urgency on getting all the things around it done, because that deadline of when it's releasing, that doesn't change. So you really got to be on the ball with getting your accompanied medias ready and videos and social media posts and all that kind of stuff. It's been quite the learning experience for sure.
Yeah. I think you hit it on the head though, Eric. We're not Seven Dust. We're not Aerosmith, we're not Seether, we're not, in term Breaking Benjamin, et cetera, in terms of being able to ride on our coattails of, we released an album a year ago. Now we're out on tour supporting that album.
Right.
And we'll start working on a new album next year. In our situation, it's all about what have you done for me lately, trying to create that momentum. And I think we saw that at our last show. We had a lot of crowd response, a lot of crowd reaction. A lot of people came based on the fact they'd heard our music via streaming or on YouTube or whatever, and they wanted to come and check it out in person. And I think as long as we continue that excitement or whatever, it's only going to benefit us in that way. And so, we've got a couple shows coming up here directly, and it's going to be cool. I noticed, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I put out the flyer for the next show, and within 24 hours, we had 40 some people that already
liked it,
commented or liked or whatever. I mean, and as you guys know, I mean, for a local band like us, getting 40 people to do, 40, that's a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I follow some bands that are, touring acts, multiple albums, that they make a Facebook post. They're lucky to get that. And I'm talking, they've got, 100,000 followers on their Facebook page, but their interactions are, low. Like, it almost makes me wonder if maybe Facebook wants us to pay for ads or something. Maybe that's
what
you want to get into conspiracy theory land.
Yeah, but I think the difference here is that you can click on those likes and you can look down that list of people, and they're all people that either you have mutual friends of, or they are currently followers of our page, et cetera. And so they're not like, like our friend from wherever he's from.
Kenzie?
Yeah.
Thanks.
They're like actual people. I mean, and so that's kind of that's interesting. And so I'll be interested to see what the crowd looks like at Jerry's here.
I've got a good feeling about that crowd. Friday night, Wichita hasn't seen us in a while. Well, other than Temple. I'm talking about like just our show. I think they're hungry for some bootleg.
Yeah,
I really do. I think that's going to be a good show. My best friend's going to try to sneak his 10-year-old daughter in there. And
like last time?
Yeah, last time they got kicked out.
Yeah.
So I told her not to drink this time.
I'm
looking forward to the seeing the Two Steppers again.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about them actually, that they frequent Jerry's quite a bit, and that we aren't the only band that's
they two-stepped anything. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. It's just for people to want to get out and view and listen to all different kinds of music's pretty awesome. So,
yeah, all jokes aside, anybody who comes and gets up and dances, even if it's not the right kind of music, that's just awesome. It's just good to see that kind of thing, because there for a while, playing the music, I got a little bit discouraged because it was hard to get people to come out because of Facebook and YouTube, internet. People were staying home watching stuff on TV. Then as it started coming back out, you didn't see the dancers like you used to see, but now, you're starting to see more of that, and that's really encouraging. I think people are kind of getting back to that a little bit. I think that's great.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Rich.
Go play Wichita again, because it always seems like we have good crowd in Wichita. It always seems like we have a good time in Wichita.
We've got a lot of good friends down there that we've met through this band, and Curtis's other band that they're very loyal. They come see us when we play, and
yeah, and I'm excited to play the new songs and get people's reactions to it and stuff.
Absolutely.
As much as playing Salina, playing Salina can be our hometown can be a little bittersweet sometimes, because I don't know if we really get that big of support here in our own hometown. Whereas we go to Wichita, I feel like we got a lot of support.
Well, because here you're just Rich. You're Rich, that guy I know, and I'm Eric, the guy that they know. So there's no mystery behind it and everything. Yeah,
number one front man in Wichita or whatever.
Right. Yeah. They've known you since you were knee high to a grasshopper.
Yeah, that's not what they know me for here.
Yeah. No,
I totally agree with though. It's been interesting. It's like you would think we'd have a good following there in Salina, and it's just not the case. Although I will say, at the Paramount the other night, we had a great crowd.
Yeah, and I will say, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we did have a great crowd there, but we always do really well in Wichita when we play, and there's a lot of people that come out for what we do, and pretty excited about that. And so so I'm excited about that show. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, me too. I will say, and this, you know, for me and Rich especially, this is our 10th year as Bootleg Mercy,
Yes.
2022. We
Crazy.
started in 2012. So I think honestly, maybe we ought to look at doing something special by the end of the year,
Yeah.
just to commemorate 10 years. Maybe it's a shirt, maybe it's a special concert. I don't know. You know, we can mull that over. But you get to thinking about that. We've been doing 10 years in Salina, so you know, all of our friends and family have seen us, and I think that's kind of what hurts us now in Salina is that we got to get new people. All of our old friends and family, they're like, oh great, go have a good show. But it's about getting new fans at this point, you know,
Yeah,
which we did last time we played Paramount. We had a lot of, you know, new faces in there that really dug us. So
I've got Janet Jackson in my head now. What have you done for me lately?
yeah. Oh, get it, Curtis.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and I were just having this conversation the other day about, you know, somebody was asking, you know, how come your wife doesn't go to all your shows? Kind of a deal. Well, it's like she and I have been together a while. She's been to lots of shows, and so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, that's the excitement. The shine's worn off that penny, you know.
Well, yeah, and I've had girlfriends while in the band, and you know, before I got remarried, and I'll tell you
Oh,
that
okay.
it's yeah.
Incense,
Before I got remarried.
incense.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
better
no, but,
clarify that.
yeah, exactly.
Somebody
But
might be
what I was
watching.
getting at is you know, when you're young in a band, having a band girlfriend's fun. Yeah, that's Jeff's girlfriend. Having a band girlfriend is fun, but when you're our age and stuff, honestly, it kind of gets in the way, you know, because your primary thing here is, okay, I got to get my work done, get my gear set up, I got to play an awesome show, I got to, you know, do a good job. But when a girlfriend's there, you're like, I have to impress her, I have to make sure she's happy, I have to make sure no guys are talking to her, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's so much easier to just get married and have her stay home and snuggle the dogs.
See, but that was always my favorite part, was when there was somebody hitting on my wife or something, you know, she's out in the
That was usually
and-
me.
and I'm up there playing, and I look down and I see some guy like trying to like talk to her, and all I see is her go like that, and the guy look up at me and go and walk away. It's always the coolest.
So we did have a comment about someone like the Backstage Stories. So I do have a backstage story to tell.
Oh,
So this is a little gem here, but so where we're going to play next, back in the day, that used to be where the strippers came after work to hang out. And so we were playing there one night, and all of our wives were there too. And so there was a wives table, and all the wives were sitting together, and we're playing, and all the strippers from that shift came in, and of course, as you know, they'll come dominate the dance floor, and it's fairly entertaining to watch. But anyway, one of the strippers, actually, it was her birthday. And so fortunately or unfortunately, depends on how you want to look at that, the particular band I was playing in, we did do Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard.
That's a perfect song.
And so I was the singer, singer guitar player of that band, and so I'm singing that song, and Birthday Girl decides it's important that she gets up on stage to dance because it's her birthday. And part of her dance there wasn't, obviously, what she does for a living, there wasn't a pole anywhere in the club. So apparently I served as that apparatus for her.
you poor guy.
Yeah. And so we're probably, I'm telling you, we are 10 seconds into that song, and she's on stage, and within 10 seconds, my wife is at the front of that stage, ready to come up on that stage.
She's like a referee with a flag in her hand, ready to throw it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, my wife is 5 foot tall of anger and rage, right? And I am literally trying to play the song and sing and referee. I'm trying I keep trying to say, hey, you know, I'm trying to let her know, hey, you know, it's okay, kind of thing. Meanwhile, this young lady is working me like a rented mule, and I'm trying to keep my wife at bay at the front of the stage. So anyway, long story short, Michelle maintains her composure. It's all cool. the girl finally gets off the stage and we go on about our business or whatever. And after the break, and you guys know the sound guy, Gus was the sound guy. Gus comes over to me we take a break, and he comes over and he goes, "Hey, is the short brunette, is that your wife?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I'll do my best to try to keep the strippers off the stage." And I said, "That would be healthy for both of us if you could do that." So yeah, so that's my wife's story at a show. So
That's
Gus come out with like a spray bottle, go stop,
Yeah.
stop.
no, I'll tell you, what I will tell you is he threw a duffel bag full of items onto the dance floor.
Should we
Which
leave it at
kept-
items?
Yeah, which kept those ladies busy for a little while. I'm just gonna leave it there.
I want
He
to play
Was
that
it,
gig.
was it like laser tag or?
Yeah.
Yeah. When we're no longer recording, I could share the rest of that story with you guys. Like to know that, but yeah, it was something.
Oh, you poor guy.
Yeah, Gus saved my life that night. So
Speaking of pour, I noticed you just ran out. So since you're going to pour another one, why don't you go and tell us what you're drinking? How's
well,
that for a segue?
Hey.
that was a nice segue, buddy. Well,
you.
I just polished off my 1792, and so I'm stepping into a little bit of the Gentleman Jack here. I've been juggling, but I tell you what I'm really getting into is I've got these two moonshines. I know I've shared these with you before, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
cinnamon and the vanilla,
Uh-huh.
yeah, those on top of that Gentleman Jack are pretty smooth.
Do
Pretty
you do
smooth.
them both together or one at a time?
Both.
Yeah. So you got a vanilla cinnamon.
Yeah. It's good.
It's interesting. I've never thought about doing something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pedestrian in my drinking.
You know what? There's a lot of things I've called you. Pedestrian's never been one of them.
Because I didn't know that word was in your vocabulary.
Actually, I used it today. You know better than that.
Yeah.
I believe we were
Like,
talking
Did
about.
you read over one or what?
I think we were talking about pictures at an establishment, and I said,
Yeah,
they
you
stay
did.
pretty pedestrian. Yeah.
You did say that.
See,
That was when you were being a beer snob about free beer.
so that's kind of influence I have over you, Eric. You don't even know it. I'm subconscious. I'm in your head.
You're like a verbal ninja.
Yes, I am.
That's how we describe Curtis. Jeff, what are you drinking, bud?
Being pretty bland or basic tonight. I just got a jug here with some rum and coke in it.
Mhm.
Bacardi silver and
Old standby.
Yep.
In college, we drank a lot of Bacardi and Coke, and I mean a lot. We would buy the 175 on Friday, and it would be gone Sunday morning. That was we switched between that and Kentucky Gentleman.
Mm.
So I'm
Yeah.
surprised I'm alive. Surprised I have a liver, because that was every weekend. That was
When I was 21, living in Jacksonville, Florida, just turned 21, moved down there, and my brother took me to a place called Papa Joe's, which is just right out on the beach. They had $10 all you can drink nights. And just to let you know, it was very, very popular with sailors. I bet you wouldn't.
really.
Bet you wouldn't guess that.
Hmm.
But so anyway, we went out there for $10 all you can drink night, and it was well liquors, but rum and cokes were basically the old standby on that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget though, old Kansas boy, just kind of from a small town, and I'm in a pretty big city. And the whole time I'm looking around at all these people, and I'm just like, wow, these people are like me. They're just kind of out here to have a good time. Who would have known? But they get to do it for $10 all they can drink.
Well, I wonder if all that rum and coke contributed to your medical ailment. Which ailment was that again? The one that you talk about, not on the podcast, the one that we all know about.
The fact he's right-handed.
Yeah, exactly. When I was at Hayes, when I was 21, G. Willikers had $5 Monster Wells, which was a 32-ounce cup. So you go in there with a $10 bill and black out.
You're
It
good.
was
Yeah.
that was fantastic. So we're drinking now. I told Rich to be prepared to be made fun of. But listen, I said, I'm going to the store. I'm going to pick up some pineapple juice and we're going to drink that bamboo rum again. That's really good quality rum. I couldn't find any pineapple juice in the entire store. Any department of the store, none of them had pineapple juice. So we got something else and we're drinking Sailor Jerry, which is a cheaper rum.
Mhm.
We're drinking the cheaper rum because we don't have a good quality mixer. Rich will show you what our mixer is. Jumex strawberry banana nectar, 5% juice, no, 12% juice,
12%.
but it makes a tasty little cocktail.
Not bad.
So there are actually bars in Texas where you would probably be beat half to death
Yeah.
for ordering that.
Bars in Texas.
Hey, listen, the only reason I got this and said we're doing this drink is because I had Rich here to deflect and I could put half of the blame on him.
I can't wait till we play some
Do
bar
not mix.
and Eric goes up to ask for one of these.
I'll take a Sailor Jerry and Jumex, please. Get the rope.
Do no mix. Do no mix.
So
That's what they were
yeah,
saying. I'd like some juice.
I was in Denton, Texas, which is the home of University of North Texas, and in their Aggieville, we went down there one night, and they literally had 50-cent you call it's. That's that shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
That
it should
shouldn't
be-
happen.
No, that's dangerous. You know, you think about this. You're gonna get your bathroom sink and toilet broke,
Yeah.
puke everywhere,
Mhm.
fights like crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll say you
What
throw
are
a
you
five,
eating?
you throw a $5 bill on the counter, and you've got
You're-
10 drinks.
yeah. Although I bet that's a good night for the bartenders because you know they'll
Yes.
say, yeah, it'll be like if I'm gonna order, you know, give me two whiskeys, and I'm just gonna give you this $5 bill because I know it's a great value. I'm like, here you go, you're working hard. Here's $4 tip on that drink. You know, so they might be able to rack up tips pretty fast, I guess.
Yeah, until the bar fights break out, and then they break all
Yeah.
the bottles of liquor, and then there's nothing,
Yeah,
no more 50-cent you call it's.
that seems like something you probably did a lot of back in the day, Jeff.
What, getting in bar fights?
Well, yeah, you have a skull on your shirt. We're back to the Satan shirts again.
Elbow
this-
room for Satan.
This is a good old was a good old local establishment there in Wichita.
Yeah, is that the one that has the Yelp review on the back? Have you seen that shirt?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I love it.
Oh yes.
0 out of 5. These places or people scared the crap out of me or
The
something.
most terrifying people I've ever met. or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that was
excellent.
great.
That's excellent.
Man, that's rough.
Well,
Oh, good old Kenny.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Did somebody say that they're talking about opening that place back up or something? Did I hear something?
I can't
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah, somebody else assumed the lease, and they're going to open up a live club, and I guess the controversy is they're going to try to stay with the same name as an homage, and all the loyals are all upset about it or something. But
You'd think they would take that as a sign of respect.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think the person opening it has any disrespect or anything. I think it's
Right.
just a thing where the familiarity with it, and
Yeah.
you know, and plus they know that, you know, people that frequented that establishment, you know, had an admiration for it and the former owner. So
Right.
I think it's more that than trying to make a buck off of it. You know,
well, and going, yeah, think about the rebranding cost alone. I mean,
Right.
it's already got a following. There's already merch out. Clearly, I mean, Jeff's wearing some.
Right. Yeah, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful at all, but I don't think it was making a whole lot of bucks beforehand. So you know, for someone to come and keep the name, that's not obviously just to try to make a buck, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I mean,
as
it's a
you
live
know-
music venue, so that's as rough as it can get, you know, as far as
Yeah.
trying to run a business. So
Well, I mean, we played it, and you know what kind of a crowd we had that night. It was pretty rough.
Right.
I mean, it was.
Right.
I don't mean a rough crowd. I just mean there just wasn't a lot of people there. So.
right.
Yeah.
Probably 'cause
that's
you-
kind of the way. That's kind of the way it went there. It was, you know, we had nights when my former bands played there that it was just completely packed. And then other nights it was, maybe 10 or 12 people. It just,
Yeah. I had the same thing with,
you never knew. So,
yeah, same thing with God's Wrath. I mean, one night we might play there and you couldn't get to the bar. And then there were other nights when, there was hardly anybody there. So
Bar came to you.
yeah, right.
All right, fellas. Well, just for the sake of my dad complaining about our podcast being too long, I think maybe we ought to go ahead and call it a night. And we got Jerry's coming up in Wichita, April 8th. We've got in May, we've got Happy Bassett in Topeka. That's May 21st, I believe you said.
May 21st.
Yeah, sounds like we might be going to McPherson in June. Yeah. Any other gigs? Anything else in the immediate?
No, obviously we got the Burning coming out at midnight tonight. We've got we'll have Knife in the Back's going to be being released here within 2 weeks following that. And then we've got another one after that called Run that'll be coming out. So be watching for videos, lyric videos, streaming, downloads. It's all going to be available. So
check out. We'll be running back into the studio to get some more going.
Yep. Get on our Facebook page, get on our Twitter or Instagram, get on our Facebook page.
Comment on this video.
Yeah.
Like it.
Do we have merch up on our site yet? Or are we still working on that?
We do.
Oh, that reminds me, Curtis, I got to get with you about we're going to be shipping 2 shirts to Memphis. So
all right.
Pretty exciting. So
heck yeah.
All right. Very good.
All right. Well,
Home of Elvis.
Home of Elvis. That's it for this week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out, sticking with us. We love you all. Have a good week.